CES 2026 is upon us, and it is Hyundai and Boston Dynamics' turn. More Boston Dynamics. Hi, welcome to ZGadgetReview. If you're new here or if you've been here before but haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe. I'm on a quest to hit 2,000 subscribers. I will really appreciate it if you help me get there. Thank you. Hyundai's big press conference took place. They purchased Boston Dynamics a few years back, so the press conference was mostly focused on Boston Dynamics and robotics. They opened the show with Spot, which is a four-legged robot doing a bunch of different dance moves. They had choreography for these robots, showing off what the robots can do. The robot also opened the door to let in the person who was going to host the press conference. As I said, this whole thing is about robots. They introduce what they're calling human AI robotics, robots equipped with physical AI. They're doing a soft launch of their AI-capable robots. They show a montage of Boston Dynamics robots doing different jobs. We saw Atlas and Spot doing different jobs. It looks like for some reason they were showing you how they are helpful at fixing cars. Well, I guess it makes sense. We're talking about Hyundai after all. This presentation reminded me of what you usually see on a sci-fi movie that is showing you how the robots were introduced at first before they're turned against humanity and destroy the world. It's kind of what this video felt like. They talk about how successful Spot has been at work sites, and they also talked about a robot named Stretch that is being used in warehouses to unload trucks. They seem very proud about the fact that they were able to take these jobs away from people and give them to a robot. And I'm saying it that way on purpose because loading and unloading trucks, it is, backbreaking work. You work in any sort of conditions. I have done it myself. And when you start very high in a truck, you can feel in the summertime the heat on your back, like that roof of that truck burns. But people do need these jobs sometimes. And sometimes this is the only type of job that you can get. And sometimes they're easy to get because it's physical labor that not everybody wants to do. And so it felt a little out of touch when they seemed proud about the fact that they were going to be able to take away these jobs and give them to a robot. It also shows you how we are slowly starting to lose some of these manual labor jobs and giving them to robots. They also talk, of course, about the Atlas. Atlas is going to be deployed in industrial areas first. It was finally shown live on a stage. So we've seen the Atlas before, but we've only seen it on videos that were shot, of course, by Boston Dynamics. They did say that for this presentation, the robot was being operated by someone. It wasn't autonomous. They did specify that the robot usually is autonomous when it's doing things around factories and, whatever type of research they're doing with the robot. But they did say that the reason why they were using an operator was to keep things simple. I think that they did it for safety reasons because you're on stage and you have people around and you have different lights, you have different radios going on because Wi-Fi, and all these presentations have different signals going around the room. And I think that they just didn't want anything to mess up with the robot. But at least they were honest about the fact that someone was controlling the robot and that the robot wasn't moving by itself. They did show a lot of the movements that the Atlas can do. They also told us for the first time that this Atlas that we've been seeing and the one that was on stage was just a prototype Atlas. And they introduced the new Atlas, which is supposed to be the final built Atlas that is going to go to actual factories. This one is different in some areas. I noticed, of course, that we have a different paint job is blue and black. I also noticed that the materials look a lot lighter. It looks like it's made out of some sort of plastic versus the white version or the prototype version of the Atlas looked like it was all encased in metal, which, makes it heavier. They said that the one they brought on stage was a static model. It wasn't an actual production model. The whole idea of this was to promote what Atlas can do, obviously to different industries, right? This is what the presentation was for. So they say that the Atlas is the most advanced enterprise-grade humanoid. It has 56 degrees of freedom with fully rotational joints. The hands have tactile sensing on the fingers and hands. The head has 360-degree cameras, and the reason is for safety. The robot will see you coming from any direction that you are approaching it, so it knows that there's people getting close to it. It can lift up to 110 pounds and can reach up to 7.5 feet in the air. It is weather resistant, and the reason they gave is because they're planning on deploying this robot in different conditions, in any job site. So they want to make it easy for people who are using this robot to be able to clean it up. It can operate in punishing temperatures as low as -4 degrees and as high as 105 degrees. It has dual swappable batteries that last 4 hours, and the Atlas will be able to swap its own batteries. So once the Atlas is low in its battery, it'll go to its little station and it'll swap its batteries and continue doing whatever work it's supposed to be doing. They also announced that Hyundai is building a robotics factory that is going to be able to produce 30,000 robots a year. They said that the quota of their production for 2026 is already allotted for Hyundai factories where they will go first. Hyundai provided a timetable of how they see these robots deploying and how they see them advancing into the future. So they show that for 2026, they're doing the opening RMAC, which is where they're going to be training these robots. By 2028, they expect the robot to be able to perform high precision sequencing at factories. And by 2030, they expect that the robot is going to be able to handle complex assembly of vehicles. So it's giving us a timetable of how these robots are going to advance within the industrial environment. And again, it makes sense that they will focus on that first because Hyundai makes cars, which also tells you how long people have to work in these factories. Because if you have these robots doing complex assembly by 2030, that means that that's going to come at the cost of people's jobs who are doing those assemblies. And I'm not saying that it's going to be right away, right? These robots aren't going to go and start assembling cars, willy-nilly fast. But if you have a target of 2030, how much longer after 2030 will these robots need to be at a level or in a place where you don't need actual human people assembling these cars? See what I'm saying? This presentation was very detailed by Hyundai and Boston Dynamics on what they're doing to achieve mass robot production. But I think that the reason why this is interesting to me is that it allows us to see how long it can take to get these robots out into the real world. We have companies making promises that robots are going to be coming to your house this year in 2026. We have companies telling us that these robots are going to be available to be in your house in the next 2 to 3 years, which, seeing the timeline and the steps that Boston Dynamics is taking, and if you've seen any of my videos before about robotics, I consider Boston Dynamics the more credible and the more advanced company in robotics out there that can actually accomplish these tasks versus Tesla, X1, and any other companies out there promising robots of what this reality looks like and how long it might actually take for these robots to get to us. The other part, besides this being very cool that we'll eventually have these robots, I will say, in the next 10 years in your house, how much is workforce is going to be affected by these things? Because, of course, they're going to come first for the manual labor jobs because they're the easiest jobs to replace with a robot. I think in the next 10 years as well, actually sooner based on Hyundai's timeline, we're going to see how jobs in warehouses and factories are going to, shape up and what they're going to look like and if they're even going to exist. We can get a peek into an interesting reality that is going to come a lot sooner than some of us would have expected. I mean, 2030, assembling cars, we're talking 4 years from now until these robots are working in factories building cars. And that's just mind-blowing to me. What do you think about Hyundai/Boston Dynamics presentation? Are you excited about these robots? Are you worried about what that might mean, again, for jobs and things like that? Let me know in the comment section. That is it for me. Go ahead and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. It really helps the channel. Go ahead and hit that bell so you can be alerted every time we have new videos. And thank you very much for watching.